Hello everyone. I hope everything is great. In last of our CSS video, we discussed about the background images, background color properties. So continue from that. Today we discuss few more properties that are related with the background. So just for time saving, I created some files that are we earlier discussed. Okay, and we discussed this thing in last of our video. By default, background image start from top left corner, repeat horizontally and vertically. So I am just quickly go to the background color CSS, select the body tag and add the property background image and give the URL. Okay, go to browser, refresh this thing, and you can see images start from the top left corner, and these images are repeat horizontally and vertically as well. So we can manage this thing so that the if we want, we can repeat only in the horizontal form. If we want, we can do this behavior only in the vertical form. So how we can do this? For this we have a specific property, and we call this property background repeat. By this property we can manage this thing. We can give following values with this. Let me add some HTML here. I add one paragraph, close the paragraph tag, and background repeat. Possible values of this property is repeat, repeat in X direction, repeat in Y direction, no repeat, and also two more properties, which is round and space. So let's discuss these properties today. Let me save this thing, go to here, refresh. You can see this new paragraph is added here. I simply add this symbol so that these are separated with each one. Okay, okay. So let's use this property in the body tag. So the property name is body, sorry, background repeat. And let's first try with the no repeat property. Let me save, go to browser, refresh page, and you can see now the background image is not repeated in both the form, not in the horizontal, not in the vertical side. Okay, now if I want to just repeat image in the horizontal form, so what I can do, I simply change the value to repeat X, save this file, go to browser, refresh, and you can see image is only repeat in the horizontal form. Okay, let's just change this value to repeat Y. So now the images are repeated in the vertical form, you can see. Okay, and also we have two more values. One is the round and second one is the space. So these properties value have little tricky sense. Let's apply one by one. And observe what happens. So first I did give the value round, save this file, go to browser, refresh. Now if you observe, the image is little stretched toward horizontally and does not repeat, but in vertical form it does not stretch, it simply repeat. Okay, if I zoom in this browser, you can see now the images are repeated in horizontally as well as in vertically. So the round property value behavior is little like that. If second image will not be set into this available space, then it will stretch the first image, and until and unless we have the space for the repeating image. Let me show you this thing. So now this image is stretching towards the horizontal form. What I did, I simply increased the size of browser, and once it have the proper space for the second image, it repeat that. Observe it. Now if I increase more, then you can see both the images are stretched, and when the browser or the we have the space for third image, it repeat that. So this is the behavior for the round value. Until and unless it have the space, it basically round off. As we have the function in the math for rounding of the values, it simply stretch the images. So if we talk about this, what is stretch the image until it does not have the proper space. Okay, so this is our observation with the round property. Let's apply the space property. What it does, I remove the round value and give it to space. Save this file, go to browser, refresh, and you can see now the repetition is not allowed in both the form. Not the images are repeating in the horizontal form, not in the vertical. Now what I did, I simply increased the size of this browser, and once it have the proper space for second image, it simply repeat. Okay, and until and unless it have the space for third image, it increases the space between these images, and once it have the proper space for third image, it simply repeat that. Let me try to this. Okay, so now this image, so sorry, this will have the also have the proper space in the vertical form, so it also repeat the image in the vertical section also. So it simply add the space, and round property basically stretch the image until and unless it have the proper space for the repetition. So we can say basically space, basically what it did, it add spaces until it does not have the proper space for repetition. Okay, so this is our observation with the space thing. So these are the all available values for background repeat. You can manage the repetition of image in horizontal form, in vertical form. You can add the space, you can stretch the image by using this background repeat property. Now let's discuss the second property for today's topic. What I did, I simply add the no repeat here, so my images are not repeated even I change the size of browser. You can see. Okay, now I want to change the position of this image. Currently it's only set at the top and left corner. I want to move this image somewhere else. So for this we have another property of background which we call the background position. Background position. Let's discuss the possible values of this background position. And possible values for this, we can set the values in the position name like center, top, left, bottom, right, or we can give values in percentage. Okay, we can also give values in the pixel form. So this way we can give the values for this. Let's use this property as well. On the same body tag I add the background position property, and what I did, I give the center. Go to browser, refresh, and you can see this image is now in the center of the page, both in the horizontal and also in the vertical form. This way you can set anything in the value actually. Right, go to browser, refresh, the image is in the right section. So this is basically the shorthand property. You can set both the values in different manner. Let me give an example here. Center, and in the vertical I give the top. So what is it? In horizontal form it's center, but in vertical form it's at the top side. You can observe this thing. Okay, so this way you can set the position. You can also give this value in the percentage. Let me add 50% and make this image in the center. You can also manage this in both the form. Let me add this. So now in vertical it's not in the center, it's a little upward. Same way you can set the values in the pixel form. So now in horizontal it's 50 pixel, and in vertical form it's 40% from the top side. So this way you can set the position of the images. Now let's move to the another property of background, which we call the background attachment. Let's add one condition here. What I did, I simply copy this whole text and copy this thing for multiple times. Now in the browser, scroll bar is added if you observe. So this is the default behavior of any browser. If the content is not set in the page, then this will scroll the content. Let me copy this thing once more time so that we have the clear scroll bar. Okay, so if you observe, this background will be scroll with this scroll bar. We can manage this thing as well. using one new property, which is the background attachment. Okay, and the possible value of this property, it can be scroll, it can be fixed, it can be local. So these are the three possible values. Other than this, we can set the inherit or initial as well. So let's discuss one by one. So scroll as the name suggests, it's scroll with the content. Simply set the scrolling. Fixed, our background is fixed. It does not affect according to the scroll bar. Local, it basically creates the local scrolling. Let's discuss these three properties. So as you can see in browser currently my background is scroll with this scroll bar. From top I give the same 50 pixel, save, go to browser, refresh, and you can see my background is scroll. So this is the default behavior. Now I add the property background attachment and set the value fixed. Go to browser, refresh. Now if I scroll the page, it does not scroll the background. So this way you can fix the background of the page. Now it does not have the impact on the background. Same way we have the scroll property. This is the default. We does not require to add this thing. It simply have the default behavior. And if I add the local, what happens now? Refresh. It have the same effect as the scroll. You can see it also scroll as we have the scroll value for background attachment, but this is not the same case. There is a small difference between the local and the scroll property of the background attachment. Let us discuss that thing. What I did, I simply add one div here, and let me copy this text, paste this thing multiple times. Save this thing, go to browser, refresh. Here this div is added. Now add some CSS here. Div, add the border so that we can differentiate this div. 1 pixel, solid black. Set the width 200 pixel, and also height will be 200 pixel. Save this, go to here, refresh browser. You can see div is actually this thing, but the content overlap this. For this we have one property, overflow, and I add the scroll. We will discuss this property in next video. For now I just use this property. Now what happens, this div only have the content, and after that content is hide, and if we scroll in this div it have a scroller. So now in this page we have two scroller. One is the main page scroller, and second one is this element specific scroller. Now let's add one background image. Image property, set the URL, and I add one image here, and the image name is tree.png. Okay, save this thing, go to browser, refresh, and you can see image is added here. By default, as we discussed, background attachment property have the value scroll, so that means it should be scrolled. But when we observe this thing in this element, the my background is not scrolled with the content. Now what I did, I give the background attachment property to local. Go to browser, refresh. Now if I scroll, my background is also scrolled with the content. So this is the basic difference between the scroll and the local value of background attachment. Now my background is not scrolled. So this is the basic difference. Local basically scroll with the local view, or we can say with the element scrolling, and scroll is adding the scroll in the main view, or we can say the viewport according to the viewport. If the main scroll is added, then it's working in the scroll. Otherwise, we need to add the local for a specific element. So by this way, you can set the background attachment property. We have three values: scroll, fixed, and local. So today we discussed three properties: background repeat, background position, and background attachment, and possible values of these. For this video, that's all. If you like this video, share this video, comment on this, like this, and also subscribe our channel. Let's meet in next video. For now, that's it. Thanks and bye bye.